Hi guys and welcome to Fandom Newbie. My name is Shruti and today I'm going to be talking about some overrated books. Now, all these books are extremely popular and many people love these books, but I personally really dislike them. Now, again, this entire video is based on just my opinions. If you guys have read these books and if you guys have enjoyed them, then that is absolutely great. I am no one to judge you on your book choices, so please just read whatever books that make you happy and read whatever books that bring you joy. These books unfortunately did not make me happy, did not bring me any joy, and I had in some cases, some moral issues with the book. So yeah, with that said, let's just jump right into the video of popular books that I don't like. Number 1, Mrs Funnybones by Twinkle Khanna. I strongly believe that if it was anyone else who had written this book, like just any non-celebrity struggling author, someone who had written this book, it would have been very hard for that person to publish this book with like a well-known publisher. This book literally only got famous and only got sold because of the name of the author, and that is Twinkle Khanna. Like, this book is just so bad in my opinion. Like, it has the most pointless plot. Nothing happens in this book whatsoever. Nothing that adds to the story. Like, it's just so pointless. Each chapter is just so disconnected. Each chapter just felt like word vomit to me. Like, whatever she was thinking that day, she wrote about it. Then the next day, whatever she was thinking, she wrote about it. There's no like one clear thought that kind of weaves throughout the story and kind of has a resolution towards the end. It just feels like her thoughts and musings, whatever random things that she was thinking about that day, she wrote them and then it got published into a book. Like, the way the book is crafted is just not good at all. And it was really frustrating for me to read because I'm just like, what is the point of this? Why am I reading this? And then when the book ended, I was like, huh? Like, where was the connection? What's happening? Like, it was so poorly written in my opinion. And honestly, again, the only reason why it got famous and the only reason why I feel like it became a bestseller was because it was written by a celebrity, and that is just so sad to me because I'm sure that there are countless brilliant authors out there who are probably struggling to publish their first book and who are probably just struggling to make it big, because even if you can self-publish these days, nobody reads your book unless like it becomes a huge hit like Chetan Bhagat or Twinkle Khanna or these authors, you know. So it's just, I found it really sad, like something that is so poorly written became such a huge bestseller. The next book, and I feel this one is very controversial, but the next book series is actually Divergent. So I read the first Divergent book when I was in my whole like dystopian kick. So I read it after I had read The Hunger Games, and then I read the series by Scott Westerfield, I think, which was Uglies, Pretties, and I can't remember the third book, but that series. So I read Hunger Games, I read that series, and then I was just like, I want another dystopian book. So I picked up Divergent, and I quite liked it. Like, I quite enjoyed it. There were some things that I found a little bit annoying, which was like the different factions. Like, I found that so like Harry Potter house-ish, but like done poorly, I felt. And I found it a little bit annoying, but yeah, like I still enjoyed the overall premise. But then I read the other two books, Allegiant, Insurgent, those, and to be very honest, I just found them very boring. Like, I couldn't connect with any of the main characters. I didn't understand why they were doing the things they were doing, and just like for me, I just couldn't connect with the story. And like, I'm the kind of person who, at least I was the kind of person where like when I started reading a series, even if I wasn't enjoying it much, I had to finish it because I had to find out what the end was, because I'd invested so much time in it. So even though I didn't really like the second book, I went on to read the third book, and the third book I absolutely hated. Like, it took me a very long time to read that because I just found it very draggy, very boring, very just like, I don't know, it just didn't resonate with me. The third one that I want to talk about is also a book series, and this should not be a surprise at all because it is the Twilight series. Twilight was the first book that I read. I think it was in 2007 or 2008. It was the first book that I read after Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. Deathly Hallows came out in July 2007, and I think this was in 2008, if I'm not mistaken, because getting over Harry Potter took me like half a year. So this was in 2008 that I read this book. And I actually really liked it. Like, I was a teenager, I was probably like hormonal or whatever, but I really liked this book. I thought it was like sexy, it was edgy, it was new, and I was like, wow, this is so good. And then of course, because I loved Twilight, I went on to read the other books. And as I kept reading, and obviously because like the books released maybe like a year apart from each other, so as I read them and as I kept like growing older, I started noticing all the like really problematic things in this book, so that by the time I reached like Breaking Dawn, I was just done. These books are so problematic for young girls, and honestly, Breaking Dawn, just the plot was so stupid and long drawn out, that yeah, it went from becoming one book that I really loved to one book that I just like, I didn't want to associate myself with anymore. Let me just like break down the things that I find very problematic about the book. The first one is Bella's character. Now, Bella is a 16-year-old girl, I think, like in the first book. She's 16 years old, or she's 17 years old or something like that. Basically she's a child. She's a 16-year-old child. And for her to decide the course of her life, like how she wants her life to play out, based on the fact that she's in love with a boy, like at 16, what do you even know? What have you experienced about life? Like, what do you even know about your life that you're willing to throw everything away over a guy? Like, that is just such a bad lesson to be giving girls. Like for Bella to be so dependent on Edward, or to be so dependent on Jacob, for her to have no thoughts of her own apart from the fact that she wants to become a vampire to live forever with Edward. Like, that's her only motivation in life. It's not friends, it's not like, you know, becoming something in life, like having a career. It's not about becoming independent, nothing. It's about her wanting to be with Edward. And to me, that's just a very bad lesson to be giving young girls, because you need to motivate, or you need to empower young girls to be independent. You need to empower them to think beyond just like the men in their life, and for them to just like, you know, want to do something and be something. The second thing that I find very problematic is Edward's character. Now, Edward was like made out to be this really amazing boyfriend material. Like, he's handsome, he's rich, he's protective, he's whatever, like, you know, that they made him out to be like this perfect character. But if you really read it, he is a creepy stalker. Like, seriously, his character is so problematic. And again, the way the story is written is how Bella just like misses out on all these red signs. She misses out on all the manipulation that Edward does, and she's just so in love with him that she's willing to do anything to be with him. And again, to me, that is very problematic. Like there's that scene in Twilight, you know, where like he follows her around when she's at the bookstore, when she's trying to find out about like the cold ones and the werewolves, I think, or whatever. She's trying to find a book about the whole phenomena, and like he follows her and whatever. And at the end, of course, she gets like attacked by these men, and Edward saves her. So then like his whole stalking her is forgiven, because like he ends up saving her because she like finds herself in some kind of like bad situation. But honestly, like, him stalking her is also bad. Like, he shouldn't be stalking her. He shouldn't be like out in his car just like skulking around looking at what she's doing, because that's wrong. And the second thing that's creepy and wrong is watching someone sleep. Like, oh my god, there were so many people who found that romantic, but that is creepy AF. Firstly, to sneak into a teenage girl's bedroom without her consent, and then just like stand in the corner like a freaking psychopath, and then just like stare at her when she sleeps. That is so creepy. That is so like stalker material. That is not romantic at all. You should not be selling it as romantic, because that is just plain creepy. The next two books on my list are from the same author, so I'm going to bundle them together. They are by Chetan Bhagat. The two books that I want to talk about are 5 Point Someone and Half Girlfriend. Now, I've made an entire video of how I feel about Chetan Bhagat books. If you guys want to check that out, I'll link it up here. You guys should check it out. So I have a few issues with Chetan Bhagat books. The first one is the sentence structure in his books. I find the sentence structure to be very, very poor. The way he writes, like the prose in his book, to me is like very lazily written. Like, it's not good prose. It's not like well written, if you know what I mean. Like, the adjectives that he uses, the way he describes things is just very, very like superficial and very, very, it's just not good. The second thing that I don't like about his books is the character development, and also I feel like there are very stereotypical characters in all his books. Like, he has like the same kind of characters in all his books. Also, I feel like as his books kind of went along, especially Half Girlfriend was very, very misogynistic and very, very demeaning to women. So yeah, I couldn't get through it. Half Girlfriend is one of the only books that I have left halfway because I was getting so angry and so frustrated like reading this book. So I stopped reading it because like I just couldn't finish that book. And the last book that I want to bring up is also one that I think is very controversial and it's also very polarizing, and that is Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. Now again, I've done a full video about why I did not like this book at all, and to be very honest, that's the one video on my channel that's got like the maximum views, but it's also the one video on my channel which has gotten the maximum hate. Oh my god, I still continue to get hate on that video, and I just find it so funny because like my book opinion, okay, so like my personal opinion of whether I like this book or not matters so much to you that you would wish that I died. Like, seriously, is your life so empty that a random girl's book opinion matters so much to you that you wish that they would die? Like, I don't even know. Like, I don't get internet hate at all. I just find it absolutely ridiculous and crazy. But I made that video, I think 3 or 4 years ago, and to date, I still stand by everything I said in that video. I just found this book absolutely ridiculous. It was a complete disservice to the 7 Harry Potter books that were written by J.K. Rowling. And to me, even though J.K. Rowling herself has said that this book should be considered as canon, to me, it will never be considered as canon because it's just so wrong and it's just so ridiculous, and I refuse to believe that the things that happen in this book actually happened in the Harry Potter universe. So yeah, those were all the books that I want to talk about today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below letting me know which books you guys find absolutely overrated. I would love to hear your thoughts. And of course, do subscribe to my channel for more book related videos. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.